and welcome back to BeanTube. Today, I'm going to be introducing 8 of our new lines from the University of Guelph Dry Bean Breeding and Computational Biology program. These aren't just any new beans. These are high-yielding, disease-resistant, processor-approved beans that can perform both in the field and in the can. So let's meet them. Starting off strong with the cranberry bean, we have OAC 24C1. This bean yield was 2,657 kilograms per hectare, which is 350 kilograms above the trial average and well above the average yield for most genotypes in this maturity window. On top of that, it has genetically supported resistance to anthracnose and common bean mosaic virus, and also has intermediate resistance to common bacterial blight, which is stronger than most high-yielding cranberry genotypes. On the canning side, 24C1 has strong hydration, drained weight, and texture, and also has 0 hard seeds. 24C1 also has strong consumer appeal since it has a really nice bright red color even after it's cooked. Next, we have a dark red kidney bean, OAC 24D1. This bean has a yield of 2,386 kilograms per hectare, which is about 15% higher than the yield of last year's varieties, and it also matured in only 78 days. 24D1 also has genetically supported resistance to anthracnose and bean common mosaic virus, and has intermediate common bacterial blight resistance, also approved by genetics. On the canning side, 24D1 has strong hydration, drained weight, and cooked color, as well as stronger seed integrity, which means less split seeds and pack loss than many of the other kidney bean varieties. Following it up with a white kidney bean, we have OAC 24W1. This one yielded 2,255 kilograms per hectare, which is basically equal to the trial mean. However, it matures 8 days earlier than its fellow registered white kidney bean, and as many Ontarians know, 8 days can make a big difference. 24W1 also had one of the best harvestability scores of the entire trial, which means it had great structural characteristics. Genetically supported disease resistance for this bean includes anthracnose and common bean mosaic virus, and it displayed intermediate common bacterial blight resistance as well. Looking at canning quality, 24W1 has strong hydration, drained weight, appearance, and cooked color, as well as less hard seeds and more uniform hydration than other white kidneys. Moving on to our first black bean, we have OAC 23B1. This one had a yield of around 3,700 kilograms per hectare, which matches trial averages, but it matured earlier and had equal or better harvestability than the registered checks. It also had really good dry down, with a green stem percentage of only 3% compared to a 15% trial average. 23B1 also has genetically supported resistance to anthracnose and common bean mosaic virus, as well as genetically supported tolerance to common bacterial blight. On the canning side, the hydration, drained weight, color, texture, and integrity are all within commercial standards and similar to the checks. Next, we have OAC 24B2, another black bean. This bean had a yield of 3,548 kilograms per hectare and slightly later maturity than others in the trial, but it displayed good dry down and excellent canning quality. 24B2 also has genetically supported tolerance to common bacterial blight and genetically supported resistance to both anthracnose and common bean mosaic virus, making it processor friendly and dependable. For our first navy bean, we have OAC 24-1. This bean had a yield of 3,616 kilograms per hectare. That's an 8.5% advantage over the trial average and a 14% advantage from last year's registered check. It also had good maturity timing and harvestability compared to trial averages, and strong genetically supported resistance to common bacterial blight and bean common mosaic virus. Add good canning performance, and OAC 24-1 is a great addition. For our next strong navy bean, we have OAC 24-2. This bean yielded 3,572 kilograms per hectare, which is a 7% increase from the trial mean and a 13% increase from last year's registered check. It also has good maturity, harvestability, and dry down, and genetically supported resistance to bean common mosaic virus. This one has great appearance, hydration, and cooking performance, making it an overall great performer. Last but not least, we have one more navy bean, OAC 24-4. The thing that makes this one stand out is its faster maturity time, coming in at 79 days compared to a trial average of 83. It also had a good yield at 3,363 kilograms per hectare, as well as good harvestability and dry down, combined with common bacterial blight tolerance and genetically approved anthracnose and common bean mosaic virus resistance. Finishing off the list with its strong canning and cooking quality, we have another great bean on our hands. So, now that you've met the new lines, you might be wondering how they compare to the older ones. Luckily, we've just launched the new Seed Catalogue feature on uogbeans.com. If you head to our website or follow the link in the description, you can explore all of the varieties in one place. This allows you to compare yield and maturity, check disease resistance, look at seed size, see processing and cooking notes, and compare new lines against checks. For example, if we look at new line OAC 24W1 and compare it to Yeti, our registered check, we can see its yield advantage and earlier maturity, and even compare their appearance. The Seed Catalog will be updated as new lines are released, so instead of reading reports or flipping through old PDFs, everything is searchable in one place. This should make decision making much easier for growers, processors, or anyone trying to win a debate on which bean is best. Thanks for sticking around to meet our new beans. Registering new lines with better yield, disease resistance, and harvestability is what we do. So if you're interested in seeing how these beans go from cross to commercial release, follow along. And if you're interested in exploring these varieties yourself, don't forget to check out our new seed catalog.